Today we will be discussing phylum Porifera. Before we start this lesson, let us first know what we will learn after completing this session. We will learn the important characteristic features of animals which are classified under this phylum. We will make a list of animals, learn their scientific names and also the common names. We will learn important terminologies which we will find while discussing this chapter. Now let us see one by one the important characteristic features of the animals belonging to this phylum Porifera. These animals are commonly known as sponges. These are pore-bearing branched animals. They are mostly marine except Spongilla, which is a freshwater sponge. Animals are solitary. Some of them are colonial. They are mostly attached to the substratum. These animals are asymmetric. They are diploblastic animals. The animal body form may vary from cylindrical, vase-like, or there are many animals which are cup-shaped. These animals are multicellular. They have cellular level of body organization. One very important characteristics of this phylum is that they have water canal system. Now, what happens in water canal system? Here, water enters through the pores in the body wall. These pores are called as ostia. So, water enters through the ostia into the central cavity, also known as spongocoel. This water from the spongocoel goes out through the terminal opening. Here you can see this is the body cavity inside and this is the osculum. This is the terminal opening called as osculum. Now this water canal system helps in food gathering, respiratory exchange of gases and also elimination of waste material, which is known as excretion. Choanocytes, an important term here, also known as collar cells. These are present on the inner lining of the spongocoel, which is the cavity. The body skeleton of these animals are made of spongin fibers and also known as spicules. Now these are important terms which we have just discussed, that we'll be learning important terms. Here we learned choanocytes, collar cells, spongin fibers, spicules. Now in these animals the digestion is intercellular. This digestion takes place in the food vacuoles. Animals are hermaphrodites. They produce gametes. These animals reproduce asexually by fragmentation. So fragmentation is a very common method of asexual reproduction in lower animals and also by formation of gametes. These animals have high regenerative power. They can regenerate from any broken portion of the fragment. The whole organism can regenerate and can be formed. Since these animals are hermaphrodite, sexual reproduction occurs by fusion of male and female gametes. But one important thing is that here cross fertilization occurs. Fertilization is internal. Now, classification of Porifera. The phylum Porifera is divided into three classes. Number one class, Calcarea. These animals are exclusively marine. They are cylindrical or vase-like body. They have radial symmetry. For example, Cycon. Class number 2, Hexaactinidea. These animals are also exclusively marine, but they are deep water animals. The skeleton is rayed with 6 spicules. Common example is Euplectella. Now all these names which I am talking about, Cyclone, Euplectella, you will know the common names also as we make the list in the coming up slides. Class number 3, Demospongi. These are massive ones and are brightly colored. They are both marine and freshwater. Common example is Euspongia. Now let us know or learn some of the common examples with their scientific names and common names. Number 1, Euspongia. This is the common bath sponge. Next, Spongilla. This is also known as freshwater sponge. Cycon, commonly known as Scypha. Euplectella, very commonly known as Venus's flower basket. And Phylospongia, known as leaf sponge. So by this time, we have discussed the salient features of this phylum. So most of the animals or all the animals, they possess these characteristics. Now it is the time to recall some important terms. Now I will give you 1 minute time. Here is the list of some important terms. I'd like all of you to write these terms, write it down, and also not only write down the terms but also write the meaning of these terms: ostia, spongocoel, osculum, conocytes or collar cells, spongin fiber or spicules, and gemule. So now by this time all of you are aware of these terms, and now I would expect that you will be able to write the meaning of these terms. So 1 more minute and then we'll go for discussion and check your answers. I'm giving you the clues to terminology. Now after 1 minute is over, I suppose all of you have written the answers. Now let's come one by one. Ostia. Yes? Correct. Ostia are minute pores in the body wall. Right. Second is spongocoel. I suppose all of you have written it correctly. Spongocoel is the central cavity of the body where water enters through the minute pores called as ostia. Next is osculum. This is the opening of the spongocoel. Now you see, water enters into the cavity through the ostia into the spongocoel. Then water goes out through the terminal opening, which is called as osculum. Next, conocytes or collar cells. These are cells which you will find lining the or making a line on the inner side of the spongocoel. And spongin fibers. This is the skeletal structure of the sponges. And finally, gemule, which you may not have found in your textbook, but it is very, very important because it forms the asexual reproductive structure. Now regarding gemule, you will find it in class 12 first chapter. Here, the term is not mentioned in your NCERT book, but I suppose it is important. Please do learn it. So by this time we have understood various information, we have gathered knowledge regarding the phylum. Now if you sum up, then what we will find? These are some of the most important areas to be discussed, or which you must know and write whenever you are discussing any phylum, because it forms the basis of classification. Apart from this, every phylum has its special characteristics which is separate for every phylum. But these are common areas which will be comparable to all the phylum which will be studied. So from now onwards, whenever we study any phylum, we will have this comparison, the basis of classification. Number one is level of organization. Can you write what is the level of organization? Symmetry, coelom, segmentation, digestive system, circulatory system, and respiratory system. These are the areas where you will now write down as per the discussions we have made. So on that basis, let us now fill up this specific characteristics. I hope all of you have written this. So should we go down to the next slide and check out the answer to this? Okay. Now this is just recall of what we have studied. Level of organization is of course cellular. Symmetry, all the animals are asymmetrical. And since the level of organization is cellular, so coelom, segmentation, digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system, all are absent here. So it is quite easy to remember these points. So thank you for learning and listening. And now it's time that we check out for the next topic, which is phylum Coelenterata Cnidaria. Don't forget to go for the next topic. Videos are available. Thank you very much.